I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm a career coach who's helped people professionally find work for a long, long time. And I thought I would do a video talking to students while you're still in school to give you ideas of things you can do while in school that will help you get a job when you graduate or when you come out of school. If you wait until your senior year, you've wasted 3 years of preparatory time. It's going to make you stand out from your competition. Your competition isn't only the students at your university, it's all the universities in your area. And then there are the ones, the competition from students who went out of state, out of city, to other places and are returning home to their parents' home to find work. Thus, you need to do things to differentiate yourself while you're in school. I made a few notes, so excuse me if I refer to them. Number one is, this is a reminder for you, grades matter up to a point. They matter to the point that you get in the door. And thus, you want to have good enough grades to get attention, but you don't have to be manic about it. You need to make some time. Now, there are exceptions to this. A 4.0 from Harvard or Stanford or any other great school means something. A 3.8 from a school no one's ever heard of before is better than a 2.8 from that school, right? You want to have good enough grades that they're not a basis for disqualification. So you don't need to be manic about them, despite what your folks say, because a year after you're in your job, no one's going to care. So number one thing I want to remind you of is that there are things that you ought to be doing while you're in school. They're going to position you with lessons learned that you can talk about on your interviews. That's going to make you different. One thing is, in your major, related to your career, you're taking courses that are designed to prepare you. Write a blog post weekly that talks about some of the things that you've learned. They'll find it eventually, and it'll be a basis for conversation on the interview, especially if you put that in your resume and in your LinkedIn profile. So number one, do that. Do a weekly blog post once you're starting to take courses in your major. They'll see a progression in your thinking over the course of time, and that'll be useful to you. Number two is look for clubs, volunteering opportunities, internships that are going to put you in a position where you're doing interesting stuff that might relate to an employer, stuff that you can learn from. Because again, on an interview, this is part of the conversation that they're going to have with you. And I also want to remind you that interviews, well, you don't have to be practicing right away, but you have to start developing a confidence in your speech, because when firms hire, competence is only one thing they look for. They like self-confidence. They want character. They want to feel like there's chemistry between you and the person interviewing that allows them to ultimately want to trust you. Now, if you're charismatic, that's best of all. But, you don't have to be. Develop a degree of self-confidence in your presentation style that's going to allow you to be different than the nervous people. You know what I mean? So that becomes a second thing. While you're in school, if there's a firm you'd like to work for, remember, the school project gives you a way of getting in to talk to people and talk about your project and make a connection with folks. Take advantage of that. Also, start having informational conversations with people who are maybe a year or two ahead of you, so that you start learning from them. So for example, if you're a junior and you want to start developing relationships with people outside, you might talk to someone who's a year, maybe 2 years in, and talk with them about what the profession's like. Start asking them questions. Start asking them about how they found the job. It's too early to really ask for work, but it's never too early to start building a network of relationships. So again, talk to alumni a year or two ahead of you. The ones who are 15, 20 years out, who are managing functions, in theory, they're going to be able to hire you, but they're not going to take the meeting so fast. They don't care yet. For now, focus on people a little bit ahead of you. Let's see now. Start doing market research of firms in the area that you might want to work for. Start volunteering and interning. Interning is great. Like if you do it on campus, you start connecting with more senior people at your school that you can start learning from what their experiences are like. You'll overhear conversations and be able to chime in and maybe ask a question and start learning from them. Another place where you can volunteer or maybe intern is with faculty. Depending upon the school and the faculty members, you want to intern or volunteer doing projects with faculty, particularly if they're adjuncts and they have relationships with corporations on the outside where they can recommend you. You can even do it with the tenured faculty, as long as you make it clear somewhere along the line you want to do great work for them, and hopefully they'll want to introduce you elsewhere once you graduate. Start attending industry functions. You can walk in bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, not know a heck of a lot, start learning, start walking over to experienced people and saying, I'm a beginner, I'm in school. Could you explain this to me? Do it at a break, obviously. But ultimately, you start building relationships with people now, so that in this way, when it comes time for graduation, there are people in place who might advocate for you. That becomes a big part of what you do while you're in school. Hope you found this helpful. I'm Jeff Altman. Visit my website, thebiggamehunter.us. Go there and go exploring. There's a lot there to help you. If you have a question for me, email me at thebiggamehunter.us. I'm sorry, that's my website, thebiggamehunter@gmail.com. In the subject line, put something like Career Coach Office Hours, because I do a weekly interview show where I answer questions that I haven't been able to address during the week. So send questions over there. Also want to mention my website, thebiggamehunter.us, has thousands of posts that you can watch, listen to, or read that'll help you find work once you get out of school. It'll help you with interviewing, your resume, LinkedIn profile, negotiations, a whole host of different things. So go over to the site and go exploring. Last thing I want to mention, follow me on YouTube. JobSearchTV.com is great. Thousands of posts there that could be of help to you. Have a terrific day. Be great.